You're watching Code Like an Architect series with Adil Atta on Archi-Wisdom.
What is polymorphism?
Poly means many. Morph means form. Polymorphism means many forms. There are two types of polymorphism: overloading and overriding. Overloading is compile-time polymorphism, and overriding is runtime polymorphism.
Let's talk about overriding 1. Can you write me the code to show that? So, where is polymorphism?
Here, we are doing overriding here.
Right, this is overriding. Where is polymorphism?
Overriding is polymorphism. You know I'm demonstrating overriding polymorphism. Do you want me to show overloading as well?
No, I wanted you to do overriding, which you have done correctly. But, I don't see polymorphism. Okay, can you write the client code which calls these classes in a main method or so? I still don't see polymorphism.
Polymorphism is not here, but here. And polymorphism is not done like this, but like this. Polymorphism is an important pillar and a powerful feature of object-oriented programming. The magic of polymorphism lies in its ability to write generic code, which allows for reusability. By the end of this video, you will learn how to make not just one class, but the entire application generic using polymorphism. Let's continue with the same animal example. Suppose we are making an animal game with multiple levels. In each level, we introduce a new animal. Whenever a new level is unlocked, we run a preview that highlights the unique features of that animal. Let's implement this run preview functionality. See, this is generic code, which will work for all animals. This method accepts a reference to the animal class as its parameter, which is the base class. This means this code can work with any class that inherits from animal. And that's how we have implemented different animal classes. All these classes inherit from the animal class. Whenever we call a method marked as virtual through a base class reference, the method call is not resolved at compile time. Instead, it is resolved at runtime, not based on the type, but the value of the variable. This is called late binding, and that's what makes polymorphism possible. This means that this code can work on every class that inherits from animal, based on the value of the variable. Let's see a demonstration. Polymorphism, we can make not just one method, but the entire implementation generic. The key point to note here is that polymorphism helps you write generic code, and generic code is reusable. Let's understand this with an example. On Monday, I saw an aeroplane. It was flying. On Tuesday, I saw a boat. It was sailing. On Wednesday, I saw a train. It was running. On Thursday, I saw a car. It was driving. Now suppose someone asks, "What did you see on Monday?" And we reply, "I saw a vehicle. It was moving." Then they ask, "What did you see on Tuesday?" Now we can reuse our previous response because it's generic. I saw a vehicle. It was moving. By keeping things generic, we can reuse them. This statement is valid and reusable for all these scenarios. Similarly, polymorphism helps you write generic code that can be reused in multiple scenarios. Now look at this class. All the implementations in this class are written for the animal class, which is the base class. Nowhere in this code are we referring to any specific animals. Instead, it talks about animals in general. Therefore, this is generic code and can be reused for every animal. It's also important to understand that the real benefit of polymorphism is not here, where we are designing these classes. But the true advantage of polymorphism lies here, where we use these classes for generic programming. Many developers think of reusability simply as reusing the base class. The real reusability benefit of polymorphism lies in the client code, where we write generic code using base classes. This allows us to write code that can work with all existing and future child classes. Note again that all of this is generic coding. Our code isn't tied to a specific animal, but instead works for all the current and future animals. If we continue programming this way and implement future features in the same manner, the code we create will be highly reusable. This takes your code reusability to another level. By mastering polymorphism, you can completely transform your coding approach. Let's see one more example. Let's say we are working on an application where we send notifications to users.